Welcome to the 71st broadcast of the T-ROH show. It's your host, Keith. I got John with me. Say howdy doody, John.
Good evening, folks. Hope you enjoy this one also.
Alrighty, so we have a lot to cover tonight, so we may go just over the hour a little bit. We just let everybody know because there's some narratives, a lot of narratives that were um, that have been put out there. They're absolutely not true. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover some of the falsehood or false narratives that are being published out there. Okay, so what we have here, this is a arrest warrant for Anna Maria Reitzinger, Anna von Reitz, and I think that she's gone with Anna Habsburg at one time or another. We just popped that in there just in case she jumps over there. And we wanted to put in what actually sparked this because we've got a lot of evidence here. There's a lot of evidence of things that are extremely nefarious, and we're going to get to a lot of the nefarious acts, but we want to go through one thing that has been going on for a while, which are complete falsehoods, and then we'll show you we'll try to show you the big picture. All right, there was a guy named, we talked about Destry Paine at one time. I think in the 69th broadcast, we were talking about the scribe that was with the American or Michigan Jural Assembly or something, whatever they call themselves. And he tries to put this on the Tiro show. It's right here. There's the Destry Paine right there. He tries to put this on the Tiro show channel as if it was true, but he actually really screwed up bad when he did that. But here it is. It says a brief history of who and what this T-ROH organization is. Okay, first of all, the T-ROH show comes from the town of the Reign of the Heavens. Okay, so everything in here, I just want to put it on record of Destry Paine's uh, survey is denied. Everything he said here is false. This is a false survey. He had no authority to survey T-ROH. He had no authority to go after it. The town does absolutely exist. If you go on Town of the Reign of the Heavens, and it'll show up on Google Maps. Just go take a look for yourself. And it does exist. We have the deeds and everything's already taken care of. But so T-ROH organization, that is actually this is the radio program, okay, that comes from the Town of the Reign of Heavens, and that's why we call it the T-ROH show. It says a man named Keith Livingway made a claim on abandonment to the name the United States of America when the 1868 corporation came out of bankruptcy. Okay, let's take a look at that. First of all, we have never heard of a corporation, the United States of America. We've never even seen that. We still don't know where it comes from. And it's still, and it says when the 1868 corporation came out of bankruptcy. What 1868 corporation? Have no idea. Because there's always been one, the United States of America. And what's going on here is people like Destry and Anna are figuring out we were correct in all of our claims in the past 8 years. So now they're trying to get it. They're trying to get it for themselves and do whatever they want with it. So let's take a look at that. So let's go over here to okay, we got Reign of the Heavens as a country. Okay, here's our there's usually a big picture that comes down on this, but if you go to the Secretary of State website, you'll see 1781.com. The United States of America 1781. Now, there's a big difference between 1781 and 1868. So this is the one they're trying to grab, and they keep calling this one unincorporated. And then there was an incorporated one. It's a total fiction. We have no idea. We've never seen any evidence of it whatsoever. So that claim has never come out. And I never claimed myself of the abandonment of an 1868 corporation ever. There's nothing on record anywhere on the internet. There's nothing on record anywhere else. Further, if you go over to the General Post Office, International, and this is the original General Post Office of the country, it says 1774 to present time. See, 1774 is not 1868. And this has been all over our paperwork since the beginning of doing all this. And I'm going to show you how all this happened, but I just wanted to go over the lie first. There it is. Just so people see with the propaganda. Some British territorial United States scum infringed on our copyright back in 1868. No, there was no such thing. And our name, to name a foreign commercial corporation, the United States of America Incorporated. Where is your freaking link to this? Where is it? Does anybody have any proof whatsoever? Because everything we do, we put proof on there. We put links and we show you where we got it and all that. There's no proof of this whatsoever. So what they do is they make a statement, they make a claim, the abandonment of the name, and then they go in and they try to, just like any communist would, they try to substantiate it with some emotion. They hit emotion with it. Put a big red line under the word incorporated. See, there's no such thing here, but they're trying to say it's incorporated, and there wasn't. The United States of America is not the same as the United States of America Incorporated. That's because the United States of America, 1781, was the United States of America that existed. More semantic deceits. So, okay, so he's going as if this is correct and the other is correct. So now they put in the emotion. And then it says the Pukes then ran that corporation into the ground and bankrupted it, giving everyone the impression that our country had somehow been bankrupted. Not true. Absolutely not true. Because this isn't true. And none of it's true. So there you go. They always do this. It says anything that can be bankrupted by the definition is not our country, not our government, and doesn't have a thing to do with us except that we hired these vermin to clean our toilets. Now, that's just number one. That is, we never hired vermin to clean our toilets. And he can say anything can be bankrupted by definition is not our country. Well, absolutely true. We know that. That's why we don't have any debt. We absolutely know that. Obviously, what Mr. Livingway claimed was abandoned was the name of an illegally conceived corporation. Not true, because I never claimed that. See, never claimed it. So this is a lie, and that's slander. They're slandering the town of the Reign of the Heavens, the Tiro show, and they're coming up with this huge narrative of complete lies to slander. That's all it's for. Now, notice that in the 69th broadcast of the Tiro show, we did talk about Destry Paine as being he was a general postmaster, but he never said anything about anything on the 69th broadcast of the Tiro show. We're going to show you what he did. It says he can't validly claim the name of our country anymore that the original rotters could. That's a falsehood because it was already done. It says when it boils down to what we have an a would-be pirate claiming to have the rights and prerogatives based on the actions of earlier pirates. There they go. There's the narrative of a false claim from the beginning up here. It says, let me repeat the applicable maximum law. And then he goes into this, what is it? Latin. There's a good reason why they go to Latin. And we'll show you that in a few minutes. Any property captured by pirates does not change ownership. That would be true, but that has nothing to do with what's going on here. Our name, the United States of America, has been ours since September 9th, 1776. And that's not true either, because it was actually came out in 1781. But these same people have been claiming that the lowercase t for years, United States of America, has been the original country since 1776. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now they're claiming this same name here, it being started in September 9th, 1776, when it was actually started in 1781, which was the third name of the country at the time. And we'll get into a lot of that. And no amount of claiming otherwise by anyone. There's no claim there. So that narrative is not there. And no amount of copyright infringement changed that fact. There was no fact here. That was not a fact. I'm not in a position to comment Mr. Livingway's state of mind. Every communist always goes to where? Every communist judge, when you corner them, they'll go to, we need to do a psych evaluation on it. Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. She goes directly to a position of state of mind. What he believes about this or what his intentions are good or bad. But I can guarantee you the facts as just stated, those facts add up to Keith Livingway has no claim to own the name the United States of America. I never claimed I own the name the United States of America. Let me show you, folks. This is what really happened. Well, let's go through this and then I'll show you what really happened. And it's lunacy to think he has. Think, people. See, there she goes. She's saying that this, now, when you say think, people, that's cutting you down. That's saying that you're not thinking. She's gaslighting you, trying to tear down your self-esteem as if you don't think. Okay? This is like someone claiming to own the name France because it went to a yard sale and some other shyster claim and it came to be selling it. No one. This is another farce. This is a total lie. Okay? Because no one claimed the name France and no one claimed the name the United States of America. I'll show you how that actually comes about in forming an assembly, and I'm going to show you what's missing in every bit of this towards the end of the show. All right, if that's the way the world works, let's sell the British crown next. Now she goes to another form of manipulation, which is absurdity. So there's another absurdity there. It would be laughable, but the extent that people are believing this are putting time, faith, and money in it, it's not funny. Okay? No, if someone was actually doing what she's claiming, it would not be laughable. You get what I mean? That would be cruel. What she's claiming here, if someone was actually doing that and it was real, that would be a cruel thing to do to people, put people through a lot of work and do all these things and then tell them that they're doing it for their country and all this other stuff. That would be bad. And notice she brings up the British crown next. If that's the way the world went, let's all sell the British crown. Oh, why are you bringing that name up there, little lady? Why are you bringing that up? It would be laughable. Okay, blah, 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 blah. It's sad, and we've sunk so low and are so gullible. So she cuts you down again. You're stupid. You're gullible. You're retarded. Blah, 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 blah. Same thing with reign of heaven. Absolutely no such thing, because there is no such thing as reign of heaven. There's reign of the heavens. But see, in order for her to write this, and I'll show you who her is in a minute, she has to change the name. Otherwise, what? We can go after, she thinks we can go after her for a copyright violation. So she's very meticulous in what she's doing. It says, this organization is a rip-off bastardization of the honorable work of Franco Collins. Absolutely not. Because number one, there is no reign of heaven. Number two, Franco Collins had an organization called oneheaven.org. Go look it up on the internet. And now Franco Collins has an organization called Ucadia. He created it's Ucadia.org. he created a foundation. It's a Ucadia Charitable Foundation for Australia. So if you go look for oneheaven.org, that's completely gone. And that website is gone. Nobody's claimed it. We definitely haven't claimed it, and we've never claimed any works on there, on that website at all, in any way, shape, or form. There is no similarity between One Heaven and reignoftheheavens.org. There's nothing. And literally, Reign of the Heavens is a country. And we have a 5-minute video that shows that. You just go here, just put Reign of the Heavens as a country. That has nothing to do with the work of Franco Collins. Franco Collins was trying to put together a new world government under One Heaven. It failed, so he started Ucadia, which was a charitable foundation. It's right here. And One True Divine Creator. So none of his work was even looked at when the country was found. Right here. So Reign of the Heavens Society Temple has nothing to do with anything that Franco Collins did. So that's the bigger lie. The same thing happened here. She's trying to put in a pattern of a pattern that doesn't exist. So once again, Mr. Livingway seized upon the work and ideas that were never his own as attempted to plagiarize and interpret his way into something. A new elitist society that he and his cronies rule with iron paws. Okay. And this is where it goes in. It says, well, I'm not an elitist, I'm an American. No, you're not, Anna. You're not an American. At all. You're not even close to an American. Okay? The reason is because Anna, and this is from her own mouth, I too stand with the Universal Catholic Church, founded by Christ. My blood seal stands upon the record of the Vatican Chancery Court and witness, and what I'm going to show you tonight. I am from a family that has served the Catholic Church since the First Holy Roman Empire. Heredity Grand Marshals of the Holy Roman Empire, Knights of the Holy Sepulchre. Y'all get it? Remember the show on the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre? The guys that have the Charter of the Judge holding over your head, that are not actually U.S. Or citizens of the United States in any way, not even connected to the Constitution. And she says, I have myself served as an international services agent, right here, and as a private attorney, in service to His Holiness Pope Benedict, and now Pope Francis. And now Pope Francis. She serves a foreign monarch. She serves the Catholic Church first and foremost because she has blood seals. And I'll tell you what a blood seal is in just a little while when we're forming our assemblies. You must believe that I am deadly earnest both about the seriousness of the criminality engulfing America and the danger this poses to the church and the rule of law. She doesn't care what it poses to you. She cares what it poses to the church. She doesn't give a crap about the States of the Union. She doesn't give a crap about the United States of America. She doesn't give a crap about any of it. What she's worried about is the United States of America being able to sue the Catholic Church for everything they've done. And we're well on our way to doing that. And so she's got to stop this as soon as she possibly can. Okay? And the canon law of the church stands above every danger. The canon law of the church stands above every other form, and the Roman Curia above all other courts. There you go, folks. She sat there and told you that a little country called Vatican City stands above any court that you guys have anywhere in the world. That means that she's saying that she doesn't go by any law whatsoever. So when she says, I go by common law, that's a lie. She goes by canon law. And I'll show you why she does that. In her own words, statements are self-authenticating as to Anna's purpose and concern for the church and their ecclesiastical courts. So what you're seeing is an international services agent and a private attorney. Okay, so an international services, that's an agent for the crown. She has nothing. She's not an American. So let's go back to here and show you I'm an American. No, you're not, because you have a blood oath, and I'll show you how far that goes. Now, when I see a bunch of pirates stealing the work of Franco Collins and trying to twist it into something that benefit their own egos, nobody twisted any work of Franco Collins. Not one sort. It's not even close. One is one heaven, the other one's reign of the heavens. It's not even close. One's a country, and one is a group that he started, and that's about all I know about it. It says, and then attach that monstrosity to the name of the United States of America. What would you care? My instinct is to throw up and load my 44. Ah, here's your threat, Anna. Here's your threat. Start putting those little things, those little ideas in people's head. Make somebody an enemy that has done absolutely nothing that you're saying here. Absolutely nothing. That's an actual threat, folks. That's a threat from a foreign agent, foreign international services agent in service to the Pope.
And that could also be construed as exciting too.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to excite the people into rebellion, or shooting or whatever.
Right. Okay, so run like an antelope away from Tiro and all its works and all its ways. Yeah, get away from us, Anna. Get away, because we don't know who you are. You know, it's we're the evil, we're the bad guys. We're evil, evil, evil. Unless, of course, you want to spend your life as a pirate hiding out in places like Costa Rica and Honduras. We've seen this 100 times. Okay, folks, if you want to verify this, call Costa Rica and call Honduras and ask if I'm there. If you call customs, they'll tell you. That's so easily verified. It's such a stupid lie. Call Costa Rica or Honduras if you really care. I don't have to call because I know the truth, but you can call Costa Rica, Honduras right there in customs. They should have, if I'm there, they should have Keith Livingway right there under passport. Go ahead, make a phone call. Ask them. They won't find my name anywhere. It says, which is what Keith Livingway has been doing for years. No, I haven't. I haven't done any of that. So you have Anna von Reitz. So this is what happens. We come out with the Tiro on the 69th broadcast and basically showed where the Michigan General Assembly, blah, 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 was screwing up and literally trying to help them by showing everybody what you don't do. And so Destry Paine, I call him Baby Destry, because he runs to Anna, Mama Anna. Here, help me, help me. So he's holding an office of the scribe and goes to a foreign agent against the United States of America. And when she says our name, it's not her name. She's worried about the church. She's worried about the United States of America and this government suing the Vatican and the church for all the crimes they've committed. That's what she's worried about. It has nothing to do with States of the Union and all that. There's also another one that she came up with, which was kind of funny. Now she's starting to use state of so-and-so, like state of Florida, state of this. You're being summoned and all this stuff. Lady, you're a freaking foreign agent. You don't summon anybody here in this country. You don't have any authority to do that. You don't really have any authority to be here. You're a foreign agent. You need to go home. Go over to the Vatican and serve your Francis. Or are you serving your Francis now? And I'm going to give everybody a little hint. Remember when Francis was claiming to be father of all families? And we stopped it? And then he came back and said, he stepped down from that and said that belongs to the reign of the heavens, not oneheaven.org. Reign of the heavens. The country. He failed there. And now, what are they doing? They're using Anna, one of his agents, to try to slam me because and slander me so people won't get the idea that it's real. Now, this is what I literally did. This was back in 2009, just so everybody understands how this all came about. I was doing study on a declaration of land patent, and I put this together in about 3 weeks. It took 3 weeks, about 8 to 10 hours a day, and that's page 14. It's 22 pages. So here's your declaration of land patent right there. Okay, and this was my original family name and blah 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 blah. So here we go. I was doing some of my own personal stuff. So in the declaration of land patent, I uh, I claimed the metes and bounds of the country, and realized that the name of the country was the United States of America. It had already been changed twice, but no chain of title had been connected. Hold on one second. My internet connection is unstable. Okay. There was no chain of title connected between 1774, 1776, 1781, all these things. So I didn't realize what had happened or what I actually did. I was just trying to do a land patent. 4 months later, I realized what was going on. No one had ever claimed the metes and bounds and seaward boundaries of the country itself. The real country, the United States of America. This one here. Let me see what we got here. There it is. Within the boundary of the United States of America. This is not the incorporated one. This is the 1781, or I mean, yeah, 1781, the United States of America, not some 1868 farce or claim corporation.
You're breaking up bad, Keith.
Okay, sorry about that. Am I still breaking up?
It's better now.
Okay. All right. What was the last thing I was saying?
You, well, the last you show on the meets and bounds, you missed about 3 minutes of it.
Oh, okay. So I'll go over it again. This was a
Okay.
land. Okay, this was a land patent I was doing back in 2009. And what I did is I claimed the metes and bounds of the United States of America, which was the 1781, the original one, throughout the whole country. I just did it in a land patent. 4 months later, I figured out what I did, and then came back and claimed the General Post Office of the original country because it was sitting there dormant. Nobody was using it. So I said, here's our country. Now I could have kept that to myself. I could have not said a word to anybody and just went along like nothing happened. But I started telling people and showing people and everything else, then my whole life turns upside down. That's all that's happened. Okay? So that's how it began. Not from some abandoned corporation. That's all a farce. And here it is right here in front of you. It's right here. Okay? Declaration of Land Patent. And it's not necessarily what the land patent or that it was a fact that it was a land patent. That's not what I'm talking about. It was the fact that the metes and bounds of the country were claimed, also the seaward boundary. So it changed everything because it was going by the law of nations. And we progressed quite a bit since then. Since 2009, it went to 2010. It was around March that I claimed the General Post Office, the original General Post Office of the country. And I think it was 2013, I believe, 13 or 14, where I had been appointed Postmaster General after Ebenezer Hazard, when we realized that he had no chain of title there. So that's how it came about. Now we don't. Now there's another one that came out. We got to show you. There's another guy that's coming out, and he's spreading false news also. And his name is David Johnson. Let me show you what's going on with him. All right, he says there is an entity in the form. This is David Johnson here. He put this out yesterday. a form of a private membership association posting arrest warrants against people they don't like. Not true. Okay, we we don't do that. When they don't like members who are unto their name games, they onto their name games, which we don't play any name games. They place blame upon those who actually did nothing to harm anyone. Okay, I'll show you tell you the rest of the story on this guy in a minute. It's sad to say it's another fiction in form of a trust. No, it's not. I supposed I should be man enough to admit a colossal error. I'm embarrassed to say that I thought restored nation turned out to be just another private entity closely mimicking something real. There will be more on this matter in the near future. There are people involved with this organization who are good people. Oh, okay. All right. So he's going to go to the bad guys. So guess who the bad guy is going to end up being? And I'll tell you what happened. The people mentioned within the list below are arrest warrants have done nothing to harm anyone. No, other than trying to steal your country on behalf of a foreign pope. They tried to steal it a little bit a while ago when he tried to claim father of all families. So no, they haven't done a thing. Nothing wrong. They have philosophy that anyone can like or dislike, but we all have the right to express our thoughts freely, no harm done. That's not what happened. We all have good and bad life experiences. I won't be investing my trust in the government of the United States of America entity created this century ever again. Good, thank you. We're absolutely glad. So he writes this in such a way that's manipulative as hell, right? And it has absolutely nothing to do with the truth. Wow, this is upsetting. Who the F is doing this to Anna and her husband? What can be done about this? So everybody starts going in and they fall for this. It's really easy to fall for it without looking at any of the, they haven't done, I bet you any amount of money that this woman here has not even read any of the links on Anna von Wright. She just blindly follows it, right? Okay. What happened is David Johnson was coming in. He was trying to come into the ANU and come in through the government and go into the States of the Union without signing anything. He didn't sign a thing. And he had his wife sign everything. So we said, well, why aren't you signing things? Well, all of a sudden it just started rolling. Okay, that's when it started snowballing because we caught him in a lie. And then he was going to hold the office of the registrar in the ANU. And all I did was say, I reserve the right to record any documents of my company and association with the registrar of the government of the United States of America, and that's all I said. And I shut up and muted out. I just reserved a right. That was it. I didn't trust this guy. Okay, so because he's coming in, he's not claiming any. You know, he's not. He's he's the kind of guy that doesn't want to sign anything, but wants to be a part of it. He doesn't want to take any liability. He just wants to find out where the back door is. Okay. So on Wednesday night, the Great Council comes together, and I came in late, and all I heard was "F you guys, F you guys. I'm gonna sue everyone. I'm gonna take the ANU down. I'm gonna do this." Because what they were doing is they were saying, "Look, all you got to do, David, is a chain of title to your full name and everything, so we know who you are, and your signatures and all this other stuff." And declare this is your signature, and that's it. It's a very short one-page document to fix the problem. That's all it was. Well, lo and behold, he starts arguing and yelling, and his wife is in there arguing and yelling and screaming and all this other stuff, profanity. F you here, we're suing every one of you, and blah, 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 blah. So his wife starts trying to shut him up and hits him in his chest. Don't you hit me. Don't you hit me. He starts going off. And he literally starts beating up his wife on camera. We have 9 witnesses to this. It looked like a Jerry Springer show. So this mild manner thing that's going on here, this is not this guy, man. This guy beat the crap out of his wife. And all of the ANU members in council saw it. He had his camera on. We have up to, like in the recording, we have the beginnings of it. But they were going to, he was interrupting so much, they had to adjourn and then they were going to go to another call to just so they could get this straightened out. They were trying to help him, and he's going, "F you, mother, yeah, that team, I'm going to get every one of you." He starts going off on everybody. Okay, and apparently we found a little history about him. This is not the first organization he's been thrown out of. Okay, so for doing what he's doing, and I had a feeling about this guy from the beginning, and I never trusted him from the beginning. When I said I didn't trust him, he tried to force me to trust him. I'm stupid. I'm this. I'm that. The organization sucks. Websites suck. Then I think a day later, people want to kill me and all this other kind of crap that he was coming up with. So what was written here is not David Johnson. Just letting you know. Okay, that is a completely different dude behind the scenes. A man who beats his wife. We watched it, folks. So that's that. All right. Let me go ahead and close some of these windows out. So that's what happened with the declaration. It was a declaration of land patent. It had nothing to do with claiming an abandoned name of 1868. It all started out like that, and then we did the next step in every country that ever was. Folks, this is what Anna has been hiding. She knows it, and I'm going to show you how she knows it. She knows exactly what the steps are to take, and she won't tell you. We've been trying to tell people for years, but they don't listen to us. And this is how you form your assemblies. And you can form your assembly. You can also go onto the ANU and form a union in there, which is the American National Union, the original American National Union, 1774, and the original General Post Office of 1775 with Benjamin Franklin. And a direct descendant of Benjamin Franklin is one of our, is Lanny Talbot, who's our ambassador. And you have a successor to Ebenezer Hazard, the last Postmaster General of the Confederacy of 1781. And we've proven it so far that what was it called? The Masons got together and created a constitution, started calling it a national government. It wasn't, because it was a private it was a private club, just like the American Juror Assembly or the Michigan Juror Assembly.
You're not sure if you're trying to show something.
I'm not sharing anything yet.
Okay.
Okay. And so, and we've said this over and over and over again. So we know what the claims are. Now, I'm going to tell Anna here, you're not getting the United States of America, and you're not getting the reign of the heavens for your Pope. That's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. So just stop what you're doing, because all you're going to do is make things worse on yourself. Because there is an arrest warrant out for you, and you're an international agent, and we know who you are. So you may fool a lot of people because you're really good at the gift of gab, but you're not going to fool us. Okay. And we got that. All right. Let me go ahead and go back to the arrest warrant. Now, the reason why we did this is, and we added Destry in it, is because he did do something really stupid. He sided with Anna against his own country. Plus, when I saw that, I thought, that's really sad if you're going to do something like that. You got some real problems here, because somehow in your head, communist rhetoric appeals to you. Not facts or truth, communist rhetoric. So this letter came into our possession the other day, and this was the reason why we put this other guy's name on it. For some reason, there's a James Clinton Belcher, and he's claiming to be the head of state of the United States of America, and they put unincorporated here, I guess, to demonize corporations. So this is Anna, that works for the Pope, that knows that these private companies are claimed to be government, so she uses that. So she says unincorporated. You notice she doesn't say 1781. Because why? Because it's already there. Okay? So they try to come in, and what they're trying to do is says to all concerned, this was May 8th, 2018, and they're using the corporate seal and all that. It says, we have learned this morning that the IMF has falsely presumed that our government is not in operation and that our international claims are not in place and that the IMF is free to act as priority creditor of the United States corporation. Okay, what does she mean by our? Our government is not in operation, that our international claims are not in place, and the IMF is free to act as the priority creditor of the United States corporation. We mean our. You're not a part of that. This is not the case. Ms. Lagarde and President Trump and all principals have been given full due process, which they haven't, and have cause to know that the states and people of this country are the priority creditors of the United States and its corporations. All of them. So what's she trying to do? She's trying to create joinder between all of you and who? And the United States is foreign to the states of the Union under the rule of private international law. So she's trying to get you to connect again to the United States and traffic you to the United States outside of the states of the Union. They're very good at their wording if you don't know the truth. So the states of the Union have nothing to do with the United States. Why? Because didn't she say that it had to do with the United States of America, unincorporated? So why is she trying to make you the priority creditor in connection with the United States? That's something an agent does. For who? His foreign monarch. So why? You become surety for the debt. Get you back into paying that debt again. All right. It says, any further encroachment upon our sovereignty. Whose sovereignty? You're an agent. You don't have any sovereignty. You're not American. You're a foreign agent. By these incorporated entities will result in their liquidation, the forfeiture of their assets, and make unlawful false claims, and serving as accomplices of breach of trust, fraud, and attempted unlawful conversion of assets. So that's pretty much what you guys did. Yeah. That's what your boss did, at least. All IMF offices recently opened in North Carolina need to be shut down, and the IMF needs to retreat to its Washington base pending our assignment of bankruptcy attorneys or bankruptcy trustees. Okay? I don't know where she gets that authority. I don't know. I guess this was a edict from the Pope. I don't know what they're doing there, but she's definitely trying to make it appear as if she's fighting for you, and she's not fighting. Remember, her first priority is the church. She said it in her own underblood oath. She said it in her own words. So when the United States entered international bankruptcy of all three levels of the federal government, we established were vacated and delegated powers reverted to the issuer of those powers, the United States of America Incorporated. Well, thank you. Because you would be no, you're not going to be correct. Because we have really nothing to do, because there really was never a federal government. And we, meaning that would be the Pope established. So I don't know what's going on here. We have been in business since 1776, so this is not presumed to be any big news to any of you. What do you mean in business? Are you trying to create a corporation out of the United States of America? And then she puts James Clinton Belcher, this poor dude, who she claims has hereditary title to the United States of America. Now, folks, hereditary title, that's called monarch law. That's under monarchies. That has nothing to do with republics. All right? Nothing to do with republics. And she tries to send this to President Donald J. Trump and Christine Lagarde. Okay? So it's another scam to make it appear as if something's happening, but nothing's going to happen at all. All right, and this is all fraud. This is a scam. It's communist propaganda on the YouTube channel, and then this is when it goes into this. She attacks the reign of the heavens. She attacks the United States of America, claims all kinds of stuff. And I believe, yeah, you are an elitist. Believe me, because you want control so bad, lady, it's driving you up a freaking wall. Everybody knows that about her. If she's not in control of it, it sucks. Anybody she is in control of goes to jail. Everybody that she has ever dealt with ends up in jail for a long time with some serious crimes. Okay, so you can take my word for it. You can go look at the links. You can go do whatever you want to do because we got a lot of links here. If you even care, which is, I don't, but not anymore because we got the arrest warrant out for you and you're a foreign agent. We know who you are. Anybody that joins with her, yeah, go ahead and join with her. You want to go ahead and go against your country? Go ahead. All right. So let's go to the truth, folks. I think you're going to like this. All right. Now, this is the law of nations. I do courses on the law of nations. Listen carefully. This is what everyone is missing. And this is going to explain everything to everyone on why you keep failing, why we're not failing and you keep failing. All right? It says the perfection of a nation is found in what renders it capable of obtaining the end of civil society. That sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? And a nation is in a perfect state when nothing necessary is wanting to arrive at the end. Okay, so once you've got it perfect, you want your want for nothing. You have nowhere to go. You're just going to live and exist within that perfect nation. We know that perfection of a thing consists generally in the perfection agreement of all its constituent parts to tend to the same end. A nation being a multitude of men united together in civil society. If in that multitude all conspire to attain the end proposed in forming a civil society, then a nation is perfect, and is more or less so according to as it approaches more or less to that perfect agreement. In the same manner, its external state will be more or less perfect according to as it concurs with the interior perfection of the nation. The end or object of civil society is to procure for the citizens whatever they stand in need of for the necessities. This is also known as general welfare, conveniences and accommodation of life, and in general, whatever constitutes happiness. With the peaceful possession of property, a method of obtaining justice within security, justice with security, and finally, a mutual defense against all external violence. So it's now easy to form just an idea of a perfection of a state or nation. Everything in it must conspire to promote the ends we have pointed out. In the act of association, by virtue of which a multitude of men form together a nation or state or nation, each individual has entered into engagements with all to promote the general welfare, and all have entered into engagements with each individual to facilitate for him the means of supplying his necessities and protect and defend him. It is manifest that these reciprocal engagements can no otherwise be fulfilled than by maintaining the political association. The entire nation is then obliged to maintain that association. These are called political parties. I'm just letting you know what that means. That's why we have the North American National Party, and that's why we keep asking you to join it. That's a political party. And their preservation depends on its continuance, and thence follows that every nation is obliged to perform the duty of self-preservation. I'm almost done here. This obligation, so natural to each individual of God's creation, is not derived to nations immediately from nature, but from the agreement by which the civil society is formed. It is therefore not absolute, but conditional. That is to say, it supposes a human act to wit the social compact. The social compact. You have to have a social compact agreement before you create your constitution. If you do not have a social compact, your constitution is null and void. And as compacts may be dissolved by common consent of the parties, if the individuals that compose a nation should unanimously agree to break the link that binds them, it would be lawful for them to do so, and thus to destroy the nation or state. Hello, folks. If you're not in a social compact, you have no nation or state. Anna knows this. How does she know it? Let's go back. Okay, let's go back here. My blood seal stands upon the record of the Vatican Chancery Court in witness of what I'm going to show you tonight. I am from the family that has served the Catholic Church since the First Holy Roman Empire, hereditary Grand Marshals of the Holy Roman Empire, Knights of the Holy Sepulchre. These are all social compact agreements between people through blood oath. She knows this. She's never told any of you this at all. You must believe that I am deadly earnest both in the seriousness of the criminality engulfing America and the danger this poses to the church and the rule of law. There you go. Church, rule of law. The canon law in the church stands above every other form of law. So these are social compacts, folks. She knows it. That's why everything she does, she bastardizes. She changes it. That's why it's not reign of the heavens, it's reign of heavens. No one ever started a reign of heavens. No such thing. It's called reign of the heavens, all lowercase letters. She has a social compact agreement within the Vatican City. Okay, now let's go to reality here with what goes on with you guys every day with people. How many people claim? And we went. This was the 69th broadcast of the Tiro show. We claimed the Michigan Jural Militia or Michigan Jural Assembly or whatever the hell they call themselves. All right, there was no social compact agreement and no constitution. How can you be a part of the United States Constitution or the Constitution of the United States if you have never signed a social compact agreement? You can't. That means you're stateless. If you've never signed a social compact agreement and therefore adopted the state constitution, which would be the original one, you don't have a constitution. You don't have a social compact agreement. You don't have a permanent population. You don't have squat. We did this years ago. The National Assembly for the Government of the United States of America amends its social compact agreement. It's right here. We just amended it again. And this is why we can use the name the United States of America. If you don't have a social compact agreement and a constitution within the original union, the original state constitution in the state of, you're not within the United States of America, and therefore you have no power of attorney to speak for it. You have no use of it. You can't do anything. You see how they twisted it? If you don't have a social compact with the people that have or use the Constitution of the United States, you are not a party to the Constitution of the United States. Now, here's what people are going to do. Hey, man, I just learned some knowledge. Okay, I just got some knowledge laid down on me, and now what we can do is we want our Constitution back. So what we can do, which never was your Constitution, you're going to go in and sign a social compact agreement, and then you're going to try to do the state constitution. And then what are you going to do? You're going to try to adopt the Constitution of the United States, and you're going to go, see, we did it legally. No, you didn't, because the people that actually are in that social compact have a right to say no. You can't get involved. So what you guys have been trying to do is you've been trying to bust down the door saying, I want to be a part of that social compact agreement. You were never invited. Ever. Okay? And a social compact agreement is only an agreement that says what you're going to, how you're going to treat each other. Now, with all the attitudes that we see across the country and all the I'm sovereign and I don't need anybody, how many people do you think are going to want to sign a social compact with people like that? How many think they're going to want to sign a social compact with white beaters and then come out and try to say all these things that are absolutely not true? How many people do you think are going to be a part of that? So what has to happen is you need to change your attitude real fast and start working with other people if you want to work with them as far as being in a social compact agreement with them. And you better come up with some kind of talent, because if you're going to sit there and just try to work out orders and not do any work, nobody's going to want to be with you or want to work with you in a social compact. Social compacts create states, folks, and none of you have signed one. Not one. The American nationals that come through, we have them sent over to the states of the union. We're waiting for them to. We have them join the North American National Party to protect them politically, and it's our social compact. Okay, and you'll see the signatories and everything else sitting right there. We're all general postmasters, and we've been in social compact since 2010. You have to understand that. That's how it works. And if you don't believe us, here it is. It's been there. It was actually amended again on the 6th day of May 2018. But we amended it on the 18th of February 2013. What we were doing is we kept amending it because the government was changing, meaning under the Articles of Confederation of 1781, the government kept changing because we were dealing with people that did not know the law of nations and run around confused and everything else. And we didn't want to, we got tired of trying to beat on their heads because every time we tried to help them, they would come back as a victim and say we were dictators. Well, they don't like me, so they just push people out that they don't like, that kind of crap. You get that whiny baby stuff. And, change my poo poo diaper and all this other kind of crap. It's, want us to hold their hands and all that stuff. And social compacts, everybody's equal. You're using your assets, your talents, and everything else that you put into it. So that's what caused it. Okay? And so now you understand who Anna Maria Reitzinger is. Now you understand what's going on. Here is Eucadia. Nothing to do with oneheaven.org, and we have nothing to do with that. We never had anything a part of it. Otherwise, we would say, otherwise it would read One Heaven Society Temple. We would have created a society and took everything and took all the works and all that stuff, but it's not even on the freaking internet. It hasn't been on the internet for a while, and we wouldn't anyways. It's not a country, and it's not what Reign of Heaven Society is. It was, so whatever. So anyway, have I not covered anything, John?
I think you pretty much covered everything, Keith.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to put all this here, and this is some of the links right here. Well, if you go over to the arrest form, we have all the links there if you want to read all this stuff and understand what's happening to you. The reign of the heavens and the government of the United States of America stopped the Pope from claiming this country. And what happened is at that time, he met with Barack Obama, or Barry Soetoro was really his real name, Barry. He met with him, and Barry's a well-known Muslim, okay? And the Catholic Church created the Muslims, so they're really tight with each other, the Roman Catholics and the Muslims are. And he made an agreement that the if Muslims would come into America and invade it with Barry. That was what the agreement was all about. Go back and watch it on video. You can see, if you look at it from that point of view, you'll understand what they're saying. They tried to do a survey and claim everybody what is it called? Immigrant. I'm not an immigrant. I was born here. So, not an immigrant. So, objection. Your survey is denied. You're lying. And then he tried to come in and say, I'm the father of all families. And we said, no, you're not. That you're not sitting on the throne of the Most High. That's not going to happen. So it made what happened was it was all done through contract. He had not started his invasion of Europe yet with Muslims. Okay, he had not started that yet at that time. And what he was doing was he was trying to make the invasion legal, to take the country where Muslims would be here. Everybody's converted either to a Muslim or a Roman Catholic. That failed. And when that failed, they had to try something else. And this is what they're trying now. They're still trying to get people to claim something that is not real. And they're withholding knowledge. And we put the law of nations out there 100 times, so you can't say we withheld it. Go read the book; it's right there. But if you don't read the book, you can't say it wasn't or was withheld from you. It's the knowledge is freely given out there on the internet. Just read the law of nations. It tells you that you have to have a social compact agreement before you have a constitution. So it also tells you that the U.S. Supreme Court, when they say that something's constitutional or unconstitutional, it's a complete farce, because what they're supposed to be doing is telling you whether it is against the social compact or not. Whatever law was made, because the social compact agreement is connected to your constitution. So whatever law was made, it goes back to the authority of that constitution, which is the social compact, the agreement that was originally made. So you have to state that did one of the offices or did the representatives of that social compact violate the social compact? But they don't want you to know there's a social compact there, because they don't want you to know anything about the law of nations, because they want to keep you stateless, because that keeps you as then they can tax you as a foreigner within their lands. Remember, the U.S. Supreme Court has Moses on its law on its walls, so they go by Mosaic law, which is you tax the foreigners. That's how it operates. Okay. So just so everybody knows, uh, everything you've been hearing about this is communists that are trying to attack a republic because we have a lot of claims on them and they know it. And we could put a lot more on there if we wanted to. All we're doing is just trying to get them to the table and say, okay, we're going to make a deal, and we're going to dictate to you what the deals are, because you're in the wrong here. And that effort needs support from people. Okay, so when you do a resident declaration and we give you an invite over to the ANU, we give you an invite to the Naturalization Center, and then we give you an invite to the political party, you have to find people in your other states, and then you guys have to come together and write your social compact agreement. We've got one right here. It's only, what, 6 pages, I think. And we have articles, and this is how we all treat each other. And here's all of our signatures. And this social compact is connected to the original Articles of Confederation of 1781, as amended August 5th, 2015. We had the authority to do that, and we used the North American National Party to protect their political power, to protect those people within the social compact, which is what the law of nations is. So all I got to say, folks, is, and this is kind of a rhetorical question. Any questions?
No, sir, not at this time. But you know, the funny part is, Keith, we actually put this thing up for sale if anybody want to take a bid on it.
Yeah, because we had our social compact. We didn't need it.
It's 300 countries out there, 7 billion people, and not one of nobody made it offer. Not even didn't bid $1 on it. We got to come back and try to steal it.
Uh-huh. Oh, here's a rebuttal, by the way. I did want to go over the rebuttal after we, because she goes ahead and does another rebuttal. It's okay. Kind of funny. This whole thing's hilarious because it's so much crap, and she doesn't think we know this, you know. So she's used to talking to people that don't know anything, you know. They can't see through her. Has never read the Law of Nations and stuff, so she doesn't know that we can figure this out real quick. Okay, and so more proof that Tiro is crazy crap. Okay, so now it's all crazy crap. Exposed the completely ridiculous nature of the claims being put forward by Keith Livingway and his band of merry men. So they answered by issuing an international arrest warrant for a non-existent person. No, you've used that name before that we know of. We just put it in there to make sure. So she doesn't say anything else, right? It says no less, and other innocent people that these cretins have absolutely no relationship with and no authority over. Well, Anna, They joined you, lady, against their own country. And this government has authority over that. It has authority over espionage, spies, treason, shit like that, you know? Since which goes to underscore the fact that these people are dangerously delusional. Okay, now we're dangerously delusional, right? Vengeful. Really, we're vengeful. So we're not the ones lying about you. We're telling the truth about you. You're the one lying about us. So, and basically dishonest. Really, we're dishonest because they won't accept correction when they are shown to be wrong and won't respect the rights of others to voice their opinions and won't admit their wrongdoing and stealing the work of other people and claiming it as their own. Isn't that so? She goes back to the same narrative. See? She's still pushing the same narrative. Now, folks, anybody knows that? Okay, you ever see the Democrats? They still keep pushing the same narrative that there was Russian collusion. So they're trying to save face that really nobody just wanted them and nobody was want anything really to do with them and their whole narrative and the direction and all this other stuff. So they keep it's the same thing as the Russian narrative, the Russian collusion. She does the exact same thing that they do. Hey, walks and quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Here's an example of their unsubstantiated lunatic BS. Okay. And here's my answer back. Yeah, good luck with that. Someone should have issued an arrest warrant for Keith Livingway as a nutcase and as a plagiarist and copyright infringer. This is the Franco Collins thing. And plagiarist and all this other stuff. This is the, okay, none of that's true. I've just proven none of it's true. And what does she do? She goes right back to just like every other communist. You're a nutcase. Oh, this is crazy. It says, I'm trembling in my shoes. Okay, folks, when somebody says that they're trembling in my shoes, why would you bring that up? It means they're really trembling. It means they're really afraid. Nobody brought this up. We weren't trying to scare her. We're saying, here's the facts, lady. I think as an agent for the Pope, you can figure it out. And we got your number. It says, since none of you can come back from Costa Rica, are we? Oh, well, now we're all in. That's right, John. We're all in Costa Rica now.
Yep.
That was freaking hilarious. Now we're all in Costa Rica. And if you do, you won't be welcome. Lady, you're from freaking Vatican. Go home. It says, but why don't I issue an international arrest warrant for all of you? It's because you don't have the freaking authority to. At least I have a logical basis for the authority to do so. No, you don't. I repeat. And then she goes back to the same thing. Any property captured by pirates does not change the ownership. So it does the same thing. She tries to push the same narrative. Okay? But guess what, guys? She never objected to anything we said in there. You get what I'm saying? She never objected to anything. Let me see if I still have it. Crap. Okay, there it is. She never objected to anything we wrote in here, all the evidence we have. She didn't even address it. And it's all the stuff that she wrote. So it's not like she can't say that we answered it. And we said, here it is. Beware of the step-by-step emancipation process. So she comes up with an emancipation process. Why would you do that? That's a stupid thing. You got to read some of the crap that she's put up. Man, it's hilarious to watch. And then the Maine Republic emailalert.com, they come up and they put in there 5th of July, James Clinton Belcher. Let me see if I can find that. That was funny because she says one thing and then actually says another. Well, you can read it. It's there. You can just go in there. You'll see some messed up stuff. And this is the whole bastardization of history and all this other kind of crap. As a beacon of hope, as only one nation stand for natural and unalienable rights and all this other kind of stuff. But you can read it for yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. It'll take forever. Because it's just a long line of crap. That's all it is. And I think that she did say our similar franchises of the municipal federal corporation, strictly speaking, shouldn't be on our soil. Oh, what do you mean on your soil? You're a freaking agent. You have nothing to do with the States of the Union in the United States of America. Absolutely nothing. And then here she goes again. Trust belonging to the bankrupt United States of America Incorporated. You could just go through it. It's all stupid. It's just a lot of crap. Back and forth, and it's a lot of, you know, back. What do you call that? Uh, Statements that are stated one time and another. I can't remember what it's called. Double-minded. So you know if somebody's lying. We stay with the same thing all the time. We stay with the same claims, the same everything, every single time. And there's a way out of this, and we've formed that way out, and we don't really want to share it on there because everybody will start messing with it and start bastardizing it and screwing with it because you have too many communists in this country. You have a lot of communists in this country, and um, they have basically taken over, especially the social media. There are a lot of them in the social media. It's really scary how many people there are, and we can pick them out in a heartbeat because we know that when you know the truth, you can't lie. They can't lie to you, and we know what they're up to. They want this country under Pope Francis. They want you to either be Muslim or Roman Catholic, and everybody pays taxes to the Pope. That's it. That's all they want. They're doing it to Sweden. They're doing it to Great Britain. They're doing it to everybody. It's the same exact thing, same scenario. This is nothing new under the sun. They've tried it before, many times. And the government of the United States of America is the only one standing in their way because, and the reign of the heavens, because we didn't accept that. We said no. Everybody else was over there kissing his butt, and we said no. So when you have somebody coming in and saying all these horrendous things like Davidson and all that, just ask us. We'll tell you what happened. He probably won't be able to find somebody in Michigan or wherever he is. I think it's Wisconsin to compact with, because when he comes in, he tries to take over. That's exactly what happens. He comes in, he tries to take over, just like he takes over in his home. Just like when his wife doesn't do what he says, he beats her. He does the same exact thing in his business. Nobody wanted to do business with him. So find somebody to compact in Wisconsin, see how long it lasts. It'll be about a month, and they'll figure out who you are, and you'll be crying about that too. They don't like me, so they kick me out. Blah blah. So thanks for listening to the 71st broadcast of the Tiro. Hope you learned something tonight. And or if you didn't, that's fine. Just it'd be entertainment only if you want, however you want to find it. But the T-ROH show is not a scam. And John, we need to send you a ticket, man, because you need to come back from Costa Rica.
You better send me a passport so I can get back in.
Yeah, Lanny, yeah, you need to come back from Costa Rica, man.
Yep.
It's hilarious on some of the stuff they do. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.